still she's an Umbridge thrill seeker, queen of the shelf. Finding Dolores in pieces of herself. Rules above truth, charm over choice. Every thrill, a silent voice. So raise a teacup to the seeker, so thrilled in a world of kittens and punishments fulfilled. Yes, she's an Umbridge thrill seeker.
Hi, welcome to the Umbridge office and to the Umbridge Thrill Seeker channel. Today we're going to talk about merch at epicuniverse that has to do with doloresumbridge. As you know, she's a big part of the Battle of the Ministry ride, so they have some merch. Not enough, but they do have some. So let's go over what that merch is. So of course, one of the first things they released was this lenticular cat plate journal. It's nice and pink with the little design here that's reminiscent of the flowers that are on the teacup and saucer she uses in the movies. Ruffles, of course, and inside it has at the bottom of the page the eye that's on her door, which is the Mad Eye Moody eye, and it's a pretty good addition. I like the journal. I like the fact that it has a cat plate on it. So of course I had to have that. Was one of the first things that came out. And also kind of matching that with this same kind of fabric, the pink tweed, we have this bow, which is actually a brooch. When I first saw it, I thought it was something you wear in your hair, and I guess you could fix it so you could wear in your hair, but it's designed to be a brooch and to be worn at the top of your outfit. It's great for Umbridge cosplay. I normally have it on the mannequin that you see in the corner at the very top, and it looks really nice there. So that was the second thing that they had that came out. And then of course there was the wand. Now, you've seen the wand in the Umbridge Wands video, but there's some interesting things that I've found out since that video. Since that video, of course, I've been to epicuniverse, and I found out that, first of all, it didn't come with the map of epicuniverse. I had to go to Cosme, the wand store, and ask for the map that had epicuniverse in it. And also, it's interactive, but it's only a first generation interactive. So that means it doesn't work for everything, which is sad. Especially since, like in Islands of Adventure now, they've taken away some of the things that the first generation wands could do. For example, you used to could open the chocolate frog box that was in the window at Honeyduke's, I think, and now you can't unless you use the second generation wand, which this is not. And even in the second generation wand, you have to go through certain quests to get to that. So the first time you get to the chocolate frog box, you aren't necessarily able to open it. So to me, that was pretty disappointing. The quests are kind of like what used to happen at a place called Magic Quest. I don't know if you ever did Magic Quest. There used to be a lot of them. Most of them have closed down now, but it gives you a series of things to do along the way to build up to other things. So it's not like you can just walk up to the chocolate frog window and make the chocolate frog box open. That won't work. You've got to go through these quests. But the most disappointing thing was that the Umbridge was just a first generation one and not a second generation one. In fact, the wands that are in the triangular boxes, the Cosme ones, they're not second generation either. So they're just a few second generation. I believe the one that's the Phoenix Arch wand, I believe it is second generation. And then of course the trio has some second generation. And then there's some others that are associated with wood, but this is not one of them. Still love the wand though because of the beautiful doily wrap it has in the box, and it's a nice wand. I enjoy the wand. I enjoy the pink box, but I sure wish it was second generation. Then I got really excited about the next thing that came out, which was Higgledy. This is Umbridge's house elf. Now, I don't think she was ever mentioned in the books or the movies, but at the office of Umbridge at Epic Universe in the Battle of the Ministry ride, where you go through all the areas before you get on the ride, Higgledy is in her office, and he talks and says things, and it's really neat. I really love the doll. There are two things I wish they had done different, though. As you can see, the brooch here has no cat on it. It's just plain white, and so is the ring. Now, at the ride, it appears that Higgledy is wearing Umbridge's brooch and Umbridge's ring, of course, which have cats on it. So it's disappointing they just made it plain white. I wish I was enough of an artist that I could like paint the cat on there, or I knew somebody that could paint the cat on there, because it just seems weird for it to just be plain white. But it's a really cute house elf. It's got the neat shoes on, has her shoes on. So I'm happy that they made this, but I sure wish that it had cats on there. Now, there have been a lot of pins. Not really Umbridge pins, but maybe Umbridge related. So I bought this Ministry of Magic banner at Epic Universe, which is really beautiful, and I decided to put pins that I got there. Now, I've already shown you my Time Turner pins, and they're on a different board, so I don't have the Time Turner pins on here. And there was also a Fantastic Beast one that's on my Fantastic Beast board. But other than that, these are the ones that I have. Higgledy, of course, has her own pin, and then there is the grand opening pin, which doesn't really have Umbridge on it, but it does say something about the Umbridge trial up in the corner here. There's the Wizengamot, which Umbridge used to be a part of, which I guess is going to be conducting the trial. And then there's one just saying the wizarding world is just Ministry of Magic, Battle of the Ministry ride. And then there's the one that just came out recently with these doors. This is a limited release pin, and it has this graphic, and of course the Harry Potter area is one of the graphics. It matches the shirt I have on. This is the Epic Universe shirt, and you can see in the corner right here it has the trial of Dolores Umbridge today. So that was enough for me to say that I need to have a few of the things with this graphic on it. So I have this pen. I've ordered the pen. There's also a limited edition pen. I'm not sure how many of the editions I ordered it. I don't know what the edition is, but it has the same pen here but without the doors, but is limited edition, whereas this one's just limited release. There's an Auror pen. There is the Ministry of Magic Auror badge. The Flu Network, which is the neatest thing about the ride. I love coming through that Flu Network and coming out into the Ministry of Magic. And so there's a pin, and this pin is actually interactive. It moves if it's not pinned on the board. And then there's another one here that's Battle of the Ministry. So I think this banner is really cool, and it looks really nice with the pins. And when I get the other one, I'll put it on the board too. Most of these, this one, were in a blind box, and it also had that Time Turner one and the Fantastic Beast one. So there were blind boxes, but I was able to get all of the different ones. And there was a magnet too, which I wish it was a pin. I might turn mine into a pin, but it has the elevator. Looks like the elevator, which is a big part of the Battle of the Ministry ride. So that's kind of neat. And I assume I could just glue pin backs on here and put it on there, or I could just keep it a magnet. Now, I also have this ride folder. I thought the ride folder was probably the neatest ride folder I had ever seen. And I framed it, and instead of putting the ride pictures here, I put pictures of myself in the frame instead of what it says. So of course it says Dolores. It says Umbridge sent to Azkaban, trial at the ministry goes awry, witches and wizards save the day. It has a whole article. I thought it was really neat, so I got this frame on Amazon to fit the folder, and of course added all my little pictures. I dressed up as Umbridge as a prisoner at the ride. So this is one of the neatest things you can get. Of course, you can just leave it with the ride, but ride picture, which of course would be you and some strangers, probably, unless you have a group big enough to fill up the ride. So that day I did buy the Phoenix Arches frame to put my cosplay of Umbridge that I wore that day. I'm wearing a pink and white striped prison outfit. I'm holding a Prisoner of Azkaban sign that has the only number associated with Umbridge that I've seen. And also I had some like chains on. And then this special hat I had made to wear, which was MAGA, Make Azkaban Great Again. The interesting thing was when I went through the tour of the ride, and this was a day when the ride was not running, you could, walk around, take your time. There weren't many people there, which was fantastic because I see pictures now and they all have a lot of people in them, and mine really don't. But when I got to the front of the line, they said, yeah, you can go through, but we'll make an exception this one time. I didn't really understand what they were talking about, other than maybe they're not allowing people to go in costume, or maybe they didn't like it because I had the chains and the Azkaban sign or the hat, or I'm not really sure what the problem was, because it seems like in photos everybody's dressing up as Beauxbaton students and wearing their robes and doing all kinds of things. So I'm not really sure what their trouble was, but they did let me go in. I was able to get some people to take some photos of me in front of the Umbridge office, at the Flu Network, standing in the middle of the Ministry of Magic area, all with my costume on and with very few people around, which I really appreciated. So I'm glad I got to go during the previews before it opened, before the big crowds hit. I want to go back because I want to do all the things that I missed, because I missed a lot. There were a lot of things broken down or closed that day. And I want to go and maybe spend 2 or 3 days so I can really enjoy the restaurants and things like that. So I love the park, but I do want to go back when the heat breaks, because it is a very hot park with a lot of pavement. And it would be pretty miserable at this time of year. I went several months ago before the heat got really bad, and even then it was fairly hot. So that's all the Epic Universe Umbridge related merch, other than just generic Ministry of Magic. They have a lot of Ministry of Magic items that I guess you could say are loosely related to Dolores Umbridge, but not specifically. So if you want to pick up those, you can look at some videos by like the Potter Collector and different people that'll show you all the items that are in the store that you can get there. So if you like this video, please give it a like and also subscribe. I really could use some more subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of you to watching. If you got this far, it's much appreciated, and have a very nice day.
Oh, she's an Umbridge seeker, wand waving antique, her teacup hoarder, ruling force, her pink lipstick streaker. In a cardigan shrine, she's feeling just fine with 1,000 Dolores dolls in a perfect line. She's got power trip posters, ministry pins, a closet full of peek where the madness begins. Don't cross her rules or she'll raise that plaque. I must not tell lies in red, almost black.